How did I get a $500,000 a year opportunity when I didn't know anyone at the company, never even met them in passing? I wasn't referred by a friend of a friend, and I wasn't even looking for a job. The answer is super easy, and you can do it too. All you need to do is establish your personal brand on LinkedIn. So in this video, I'm giving you my best LinkedIn profile tips to have recruiters sliding into your DMs and big dollar opportunities coming your way. Now, if that sounds good, tap that like button. And if you want to know what I did with that $500,000 a year opportunity, you're gonna have to stay till the end. Now, let's jump straight into it. The first thing that you need to do in order to have a really great LinkedIn profile is to figure out what your goal is. What are you doing there? If you're like most, you probably are using LinkedIn so that more opportunities come your way, and maybe even to boost your visibility. But what specifically do you want to get out of it? Do you want to get a new job? Do you want to help set yourself up for a promotion at work? Do you want to start a business or establish a side hustle? Or do you want to establish an audience and become an industry influencer? There are no right or wrong answers. The main thing is having clarity on your goal so that you can keep it in mind as you follow the steps along with me. Now, just real quick here, we need to know the basics. How does LinkedIn work? How do people find you? There are two ways that you are going to be discovered on LinkedIn. Either in search, so that's when a recruiter is looking for someone with your skills and abilities, or you're going to show up in the newsfeed. Most of what I'm going to detail in this video is really going to help you with the search part, but we will talk about the newsfeed a little bit at the end. Now, with the goal in mind, it's time for us to get into the actual optimization. So the first phase of LinkedIn profile optimization to make your profile great is to personalize it. Because you got to admit that there is a big difference between this profile and this one. Whether it is in the newsfeed or it is in the search results, one of the first things that people are going to notice about your profile is your profile picture. So having the right profile picture is really important. I'm going to post a reel over on Instagram that shows you how to take your own profile photo, and on TikTok, I'm going to share with you the do's and don'ts. So if you want to check those out, I will leave links in the description bar down below. But just a couple of guidelines that I encourage you to think about when you are choosing your LinkedIn profile. First of all, you want something that is going to pop out. So having a bold color in the background, which you can actually swap in using a tool like Canva, which we're going to talk a little bit more about in just a moment. Also remember that LinkedIn is a professional network, and if you forget, people over there are going to remind you of it constantly. So you will want to avoid any images that maybe aren't reflecting your best professional self, which isn't to say you need to be boring, but maybe the picture of you intoxicated at the bar at 1 a.m. on a Saturday night isn't putting your best foot forward on your LinkedIn profile. And just a quick tip I want to add here, if you want to make sure that you are choosing the best possible LinkedIn profile picture, take a few pictures and you can use this website called Photo Feeler, where people actually vote on your photo so that you can find the photo that makes you look the most likable, competent, and influential. The next element of your LinkedIn profile that you're going to see all over the platform, once again, whether it's in the newsfeed or in search results, is your headline. This is how you catch someone's attention for real, which is why it is such a shame that so many people stick with the default job title and company name as the headline for their LinkedIn profile. Because what response does that usually get? While your job title or your target job title should be in there for optimization purposes, this is really a great place to be showcasing your UAQ to grab attention and interest in your LinkedIn profile. If you don't know your UAQ, you're gonna need, so go into the description bar and download my UAQ starter kit. It's free and it's gonna help you jazz things up. There are several ways that you can assemble your LinkedIn profile. I did do a post with some different headline formulas incorporating your UAQ. I'll also pop that link in the description bar down below so that you can check it out and craft your perfect LinkedIn headline. Now, if your profile photo and your LinkedIn headline have done their job, someone has clicked and are about to land on your LinkedIn profile, what's the next thing that they're going to see? They're going to see your cover photo. Now, unfortunately, too many people are using the standard default version that you see right here. It doesn't say anything about you and it doesn't really capture interest. And the job of your LinkedIn cover photo is really to entice whoever is checking out your profile to take a scroll down. What's really important for you right now, especially if you don't have a LinkedIn cover photo on your profile right now, is to use a tool called Canva. And what you can do here here is you can choose to create a LinkedIn banner. And no, this is not sponsored though. Canva, if you want to hook a girl up, feel free to get into my inbox. Canva does give you a number of templates that you can work with, or you can create something completely on your own, just like I did on my LinkedIn profile. Now, ideally, your cover photo is going to be something that showcases your UAQ and really entices someone to scroll. However, the most important thing for the purpose of this video is to just have something. It could be a picture of a cityscape. It could be one of the Canva templates. Just make sure that you have something there and that it is personal to you. Now, the next area of your LinkedIn profile, it might not be one that you're using quite yet, depending on if you're actively posting or promoting something on LinkedIn, and that is your featured section. This is a great place if you have a personal website that you use to showcase, say, your professional portfolio. Maybe you maintain a blog over on Medium, or if you actively post on LinkedIn, if you have a post that you really like that really speaks to your UAQ, you can feature it right here on your profile. Now, this leads us into the second phase to make a great LinkedIn profile, and that, my friend, is to optimize. And the first thing that we need to talk about when we talk about LinkedIn profile optimization is to talk about skills. One thing that's really important that I want you to make sure that you know is that skills equal keywords on LinkedIn. So when a recruiter types in Salesforce Administrator, if your skill is Salesforce Administration and it's a skill in your profile and maybe sprinkled around, which we're going to talk about, you are going to be more likely to appear in search results so that they can find you and give you that job offer. There are so many skills that you can add into your LinkedIn profile. In fact, you could add up to 50 skills in your LinkedIn profile. If you want to know what skills make the most sense based on your job title so that it makes it easy for you to show up in those search results, I do have a video that gives a hack. And in my opinion, using this super simple hack that is going to take you just a few seconds is much more meaningful than adding a whole bunch of skills that you have that you think might be relevant, but aren't necessarily the skills that people are going to use to find you on LinkedIn. Now that we have your skills squared away, it's time for us to talk about your About section. And I know so many people get so overwhelmed by this, or even worse, they end up writing this super awkward, super boring third-party biography about who they are as a professional. And please, 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 unless someone is actually writing it for you, do not write about yourself in the third person. It's so awkward. What's much, much more interesting is to tell the story about who you are. Because anyone who gets to hear on your profile, clicks read more, and actually takes the time to read your About section is someone who was intrigued enough with the personalized information that we covered in phase 1 that they really want to get to know you more because there is maybe some synergy there. The story that you tell and exactly how you use your About section is again going to be localized to your goals on LinkedIn. For most of you, you are going to be telling your professional story and really showcasing your UAQ and the value and impact that you bring to the organization. And make sure that you're sprinkling in those skills. What I would typically do is take the skills that you add into the skills section, and as you are writing your About section, have them handy and copy and paste them in as they organically come up. No matter what your goal for your LinkedIn profile, you are going to end your LinkedIn About section with a call to action. That might be connect with you, it might be email you, it might be go comment on a post. Whatever you would like your profile visitor to do, tell them exactly what they should do as their next step to get in touch with you. Because ultimately, that's what we want our profile lurkers to do. Now, if you are someone who is using LinkedIn in order to build your professional brand because you want a new job offer, you're trying to advance your career, and you have really interested someone, especially a recruiter, then they are going to scroll down to your experience section. I know some people copy and paste their resume here, and I don't totally recommend doing that, even though you might be showcasing some of the same points. Again, we want this to be very attention grabbing and very interesting to compel someone to either connect with us or reach out to us in whatever way we want them to. And we also want to incorporate those skills once again. So what I recommend, especially for job seekers, is that under each experience that you have, add 3 to 5 bullet points. that show your UAQ, the strategic high impact that you've made, and where it's appropriate, include those skills once again. Because, searchability purposes. Now, there's a lot more that you could do with your LinkedIn profile that we can really dive into, but this video would be super long. And really, these LinkedIn profile tips are the essentials that the vast majority of people need in order to help the people that are looking for them find them on LinkedIn. However, just simply having a LinkedIn profile and not doing anything with it is not going to yield you the results that you really want and help you achieve your goals for your LinkedIn profile. So we are going to move into phase 3 now. Remember, LinkedIn is a professional social network. Connect with your friends, your old classmates, former colleagues, current colleagues. If you know them, add them to your LinkedIn profile is my philosophy. LinkedIn is also a fantastic place to expand your professional network. And really, if you want to start magically appearing in the newsfeed of other people and having them be like, OMG, where were you all my life? Then it's time for you to really see LinkedIn for what it is. It's a party. I know that when you first start using LinkedIn, it kind of feels like a library and you need to be quiet and very serious. However, there are so many highly active professional communities on LinkedIn. Join the conversations, start following hashtags and participating. And even more importantly, I encourage you to make posts to share your knowledge and expertise and once again flex that UAQ. But because that is a more advanced strategy and really what I wanted for this video for you was the profile tips to help you just make a great LinkedIn profile, I won't dive too far into that today. However, if you do want more videos about how to build a presence on LinkedIn, show up in the newsfeed, and build your influence on the platform, even if it's just within your network, let me know that you're interested in that video by leaving a comment down below. Sudden screen change, because after 3 hours of editing, I realized I forgot to tell you guys about the $500,000 offer and exactly what happened, why it happened, and what I did with it. So, if you didn't know this about me, I was very senior in the tech industry before I left the tech industry to start my own business. However, the optimization strategies that I just gave you were so powerful that even months after I left to start my own business, I was still getting reach out from recruiters with some pretty good offers. One of which, the compensation package in total, when you looked at everything that they had to offer, which was quite a lot, good job on them, was about $500,000 a year. What did I do with the offer? I replied to the recruiter and I said, thank you, but it's not the right step for me. So I actually had to completely tear down all of my old profile configurations because I didn't want to get things like that because that's a lot of money to say no to. For anyone who also happens to hang out with me on LinkedIn, you know that it is a favorite place for me. I have a ton of videos already here on YouTube that really dive into making the most out of LinkedIn, and I want to do more in the new year. So if you want to up your LinkedIn game along with me, then tap the subscription button so that you don't miss any videos. But right now, what I would like you to do is tap into this playlist and pick the LinkedIn video that is going to help you upgrade your profile. But before you go, if this helped you ace your LinkedIn profile, give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, makes you my favorite career bestie, win-win situation going on. As always, my friend, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.